So I woke up today to a Google alert on Bethenny, and little did I know, I was actually quite surprised to see that Raquel, formerly known as Raquel Leviss, or Levis, I should say, decided to sit down and finally give her take on what had transpired between herself and Tom Sandoval, right? So just to give her take on the whole situation, because up until that point, Raquel had been completely silent. She didn't give any interviews when it came to the whole situationship between herself and Tom and Ariana. Um, she did explain herself at the reunion, if we can call that an explanation, because she was attacked from all angles, right? So I don't feel like I'm gonna talk about this extensively because I feel like I have. I feel like I have talked about Raquel quite a bit back in March, and at some point again, I talked about her again and the whole situation a few months later. I didn't cover the story extensively like a lot of other people have. I just basically gave my opinion, and my stance on the whole thing was always the same and has never changed. Rochelle, I'm sorry, it's gonna take me some time to go back to Rochelle because she wanted to be called Raquel, and I was respecting that, even though we knew her real name, her legal name was Rochelle. But now that she wants to be called Rochelle, I'm gonna call her Rochelle, but I might get mixed up. So, so I've always said that she was human, that she did a very bad thing, but I never felt like she deserved everything that she got in the media, on social media, the attacks. I was not a fan of what I saw on the show at the reunion. I've said this many times. I am not for the crucifixion of anyone. I did not believe that whatever she did deserved that. And I was quite upset after watching the reunion, how somebody like Andy or even Lisa Vanderpump did not like get up and just say at that point, that's enough, we're not doing this. I know that she did a very bad thing, that it's very frowned upon, but I felt like she still deserved to have somebody in her corner. Like, and in her corner, what I mean by that is just like somebody that would extend her compassion, right? And I felt like even Tom didn't show up for her, really. Like, he kind of tried, but considering that, considering the age difference and that Tom is 40 years old, and, this is not his first time at the rodeo. He has cheated before. He was on a show with Kristen and he cheated on her with Ariana. So he's been through all of this before. So I felt like he could have been a bit more of like a pillar or like an anchor for Rochelle at that time. And he was mostly silent and just kind of embarrassed, right? So I didn't really feel like Rochelle at that point had anyone truly supporting her as a human being. So anyways, I'm not going to recap the entire interview. There's no point of doing that. It's available online if you want to listen to it. Go and listen to the interview between Bethenny and Rochelle. So the only thing that I feel like I want to comment on, a few things actually. Bethenny said during her interview with Rochelle that she did not really cover the story. She didn't really watch the show. She really truly had no idea of who these people actually really were, right? Fair enough. Vanderpump Rules, it's not for everybody, but Bethenny was quite honest when it came to that, and she said that she was not like, a viewer of the show, right? But then she started taking interest into what happened to Rochelle because of the fact that she was crucified online by social media and all of that stuff, right? So I'm not going to let my feel, because you guys know. You guys know how I truly feel about Bethenny these days. I've been quite vocal about that. I feel like Bethenny has some sort of agenda of her own. I don't always feel like she's doing things for the right reasons, but that is my opinion, right? So, although I have certain feelings when it comes to Miss Bethenny Frankel, I will not deny that the interview was a good one, regardless, and that she asked some very good questions to Raquel, right? Now, that being said, I do feel like there's a lot of there are a lot of content creators that have covered the story, and some of them have done a fantastic job. I'm not just talking about like reporting on the news and giving us like every single intricate details of the affair between Raquel and Tom and all of that, but some content creators out there have done a deep dive and tried to actually understand who raquelleviss was. And one of those creators I would have to say is Dana, because Dana explained extensively things about Raquel that people did not know, like the fact that she was adopted and the fact that I believe that her mom gave her to her sister who can have children or something like that. Don't quote me on there, but it's like some sort of weird situation like that. So if you have not listened to that interview, not that interview, but that deep dive that Dana did at some point in time about raquelleviss, it's definitely worth it if you enjoy listening to or learning about the psychology around things, right? So I thought that she did a fantastic job when it came to that. And I also feel like, I don't know, I don't know Dana, but I feel like she has like that compassion for people too. So I feel like she would have been equally as good, if not better, at conducting that interview with Raquel. So, but nevertheless, she picked Bethenny, and again, I'm not sure if Bethenny's reasons for having Raquel, pardon me, on her show are genuine, but it was a very good interview regardless. So one of the things that Raquel said to Bethenny, which I thought was very interesting, and I'm going to leave you guys on that because, like I said, I don't really want to talk about it extensively. I've talked about it enough. But, it's kind of a messed up thing, this reality TV world, because on the show, Ariana was really playing the card, and of course, Raquel was being politically correct and very diplomatic in the whole thing. I don't have to do that because I'm not involved, right? But Ariana was playing the card that Raquel and her were best friends. Turns out that by Raquel's own admission, her and Ariana were never friends like that. So basically, they are show friends, right? They are reality TV friends. So on the show, they have to film together. They have to look like they have a very close friendship. But really, she wasn't that close to Ariana in reality, right? In the real world, she was not that close to her. In fact, she was more close to Tom than she was to Ariana. So I thought that was very interesting because at the reunion, everyone came at her and everyone was saying, oh, I wasn't her best friend, or I wasn't your best friend when I cheated on, or when I slept with this person, or when I slept with James. I wasn't your friend. I wasn't your best friend. So everybody wanted to paint that picture that Raquel and Ariana were so close, right? Almost like blood sisters. And by Raquel's own admission, that was never really the case. So I think if you watch the show or the reunion, you could kind of tell, like, on Tom's look and on Raquel's look and even Tom Schwartz's look, that they're just kind of like, okay, like, you're going too hard now. Like, you're not friends with her like that, right? But they don't say anything. They just have a look of confusion on their face, right? So anyways, I knew this moment would happen eventually. And at the time, I did catch some flack for speaking my my speak and my opinion on the whole thing, I was not defending Raquel. I was just saying that the girl does not deserve that. There's a difference. You can still feel bad for a person that has done a very bad thing, right? And I just didn't feel that, given, the narrative of this group and their history, that she deserved all the smoke that she got. So anyways, guys, I'm going to leave you on that. That's all I have for today. As always, be a fan, not fanatical. Ciao.